But
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Retro Fandango episode.
194.
I thought you were doing like the Velcro fly thing.
No, just keep him warm. It's getting chilly.
There's a ZZ Top song called Velcro Fly, and every time they say Velcro Fly, you hear.
Do you know what Velcro is called in Japan?
No.
Magic tape.
Rocket Sauce is here. I wonder if he knew that. I
He's
don't
a
even,
wise guy.
Listen, we did the whole time shift, time jump thing. I'm all mixed up.
Oh yeah, fall back. Is that what it was? Fall back, spring forward.
That's right. I made a big announcement that there's a time change to 5 p.m. Eastern, but that's the time that we were recording. We go to 4 o'clock now, which I do prefer. I do like going at 4 o'clock. It is nice.
I'm glad I could shift the earth for you.
But I don't even have
Last night, speaking of heavenly bodies, there was a lunar eclipse. It was really neat.
Did you go out and see it?
I did.
You looked at it? You take photos?
No.
You can stare at a lunar eclipse. You can't stare at a solar eclipse.
Fun fact.
Well, you can stare at a solar eclipse
unwise
if you don't care about your eyesight.
Mm-hmm.
Going to do some house cleaning here. Cartridge Club is playing Spyro the Dragon this month. By the way, check out that big video that Dean sent out celebrating the Cartridge Club's 100 episodes.
Yes. And let's also give Dean a little pat on the back for all the work he does behind the scenes. He's really a bit of an unsung hero.
I made sure to shout him out specifically, call him out for all the work that he does. Because I really feel if he wasn't around, there wouldn't be. He is the glue that keeps us all together, keeps us going, keeps us all.
He is sticky.
And as someone who got a glimpse into this month's last month's the Diablo episode, Dean pushed that train. Let me just tell you, he pushed that train up the hill. Let me just say, yes. Rocket Sauce says we're all in it. But I think we're all following Dean. I think Dean is the guy. Anyways, Spyro the Dragon's game that they're playing this month. And I haven't played it yet. I saw it went on sale on the PlayStation, so now I'm waiting for it to go sale on the Xbox, because that's my preferred. Or on PC. Give me one or the other. Make it go on sale on those.
If you watch the Spyro cartoon, is that the same thing?
I didn't even know there was a Spyro cartoon.
Oh shoot! I hear an alarm going off.
Uh-oh. Is it a fire alarm?
No, it's Saturday here, so the alarm should be off, so everybody can just sleep in. But I hear it going off. Well, the thing is, pretty much, other than me, everybody else sleeps through it anyway, so they may not even notice.
Oh, okay. Is it your alarm?
It's just it's my kids' alarm. They usually sleep through it.
Well, you just reminded me of a.
Is it coming through the mic?
I don't hear any alarm.
No worries.
All right. Well, you just reminded me of a story about alarms. Well, let me get through this house cleaning. Remind me to tell you about alarms in a second. RF Jen is playing Brave Fencer.
Musashi,
that's what I said. And Beat the Bandy this month is Wrecking Crew. I haven't played any of them. Okay, so last Thursday was Remembrance Day. And Sarah and I we celebrated Remembrance Day by driving up to Sudbury. Because why not? Why wouldn't you do that? It's 4 hours away. Go for it. No, her aunt is it's being put into a home, and her apartment needs to be cleaned out because she's got to be out by the. Well, I mean, my in-laws think that they could just keep paying the rent at that place, but I think because her aunt has been living in this apartment for so long that she has that controlled rent.
Oh, right. So
right?
They can't raise the rent every year. It's just whatever it was 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah. Well, she's lived in that apartment for 40 years. And the landlord has just been waiting for her to get out of this apartment because he could charge double of what he's been charging her aunt for the past, 20 years or so.
Right.
So they seem convinced that they could keep that going after the year is up, after the lease is up. But I'm like, you're going to be negotiating like a whole new lease. So you guys got to be out of there. And they're like, no, don't worry about it. I'm like, yeah, no, better worry about it. Anyways, doing our part. So we get the day off at work on Remembrance Day. So I got that Thursday off and I took the Friday off. So we were staying in a motel in Sudbury. And when I got to the motel, I like to have like a clock beside my bed, right? Like I like to look up and see the time in that, but I usually just make do with the phone beside the bed, because what else you're going to do? You're on the road. That's what you got to do. You got to put up with some inconveniences. But I get to this hotel and they had a clock right beside the bed, but it wasn't plugged in. I'm like, this is awesome. I can be on the road and I can have a clock beside my bed. So I plug it in, put in the right time, and go to sleep. Well, that sucker started going off at midnight because it's one of those clocks that the default alarm is midnight and it just starts going off. But it's like as if somebody had pulled the buzzer out of the thing. So it was
okay. One of those old clocks.
Yeah, like how like old clock it would start going off at midnight, right? Because that would be like the default time. Even though I didn't set any alarm, but it had one set in there.
Okay.
So it starts going off, but like somebody had taken the buzzer out of it, and so it was only making like this like clicking, like this click 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 like sound. I'm like, what is that? What the heck is that? And then I'm like, oh, it must be that clock. It must be a clock from 30 years ago where it does that thing. So I start hitting buttons and it turned off. All right, go back to sleep. 10 minutes later, click, 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 click. Oh, I hit the snooze.
You found the snooze.
So then I grab a hold of the clock and I'm feeling around at the buttons. I know the big button's the snooze button, so I'm not pressing that one. So I hit the first button, nothing happens. I hit the second button, nothing happens. Hit the third button, it goes off. I'm like, all right, I must have got it. I go back to sleep. 10 minutes later, I'm like, what is going on with this thing? So I get up and just rip the thing out of the wall like it was when I first got there. And now I know why it was unplugged. And then to top it all off, I forgot to turn off the alarm on my phone that goes off at 4:30 to wake me up to go to work. And so that was like 3 times I got up because of a stupid alarm. Good times. There you go. That's my alarm story.
All right. Speaking of alarms, the one in the other room is still going off. Let me go hit it real quick.
All right, go hit it.
I'll be right back.
I'm always impressed with people who can sleep through alarms. I'm never able to sleep through. I've never slept through an alarm once. I've woken up before an alarm has gone off. Now I can hear that alarm. Like an alarm like that, there's no way I'd be able to sleep through that. I would be up. I don't know if I'm a light sleeper, but I can't do it. I hear alarms. Any sort of alarm. Car backing up. One of those trucks backing up outside. That'll wake me up. Oh, I wonder if did Richard take the microphone with him? Are we in the I think we're in the room with him. Oh, what was going on there?
I wasn't wearing any pants.
So
turn off the picture.
Why did you turn off the camera? That's
I don't know, common courtesy. You want to see my butt waving by the camera?
Well, you never know. That might have helped us.
As I predicted, still asleep. Nobody noticed it but me.
I've never slept through an alarm once. I can't do it.
It's pretty tough for me. I do that thing where I stagger the alarms. I just set a bunch of them, and they're all different alarms. Like if I'm supposed to wake up at a certain time, I don't know, 30 minutes before, 25 minutes before. So I've got a variety of alarms. So I can detect what time it is based on what alarm is going off. Like, okay, it's this alarm. That means I slept a little too long. So I'm conditioned to hear these things. My kids, though, they don't care.
I wish I could. I wish I could sleep that deeply, that soundly, but it never happens.
Maybe you're sleeping with your bum hanging out and you're not getting a quality rest.
Look at this, Bill making fun of our show, saying we're the Alarm Talk podcast. But hey, at least
you're listening to it.
We're talking about something. At least we're doing an episode. Anyway, what do you want to talk about? What's your thing?
I don't know. I'm just finally feeling like loose and awake here.
It's because that alarm went off and woke you up.
Yeah. You know what I'm excited about? I just I ordered a copy of the 3 Flavors Cornetto. The that's what they call the Edgar Wright Simon Pegg movies.
Oh, is it?
Jonathan. Yeah, they call it because they reference that cornetto thing in every one of the movies. And I don't know if there's one that actually has 3 flavors mixed or if that's just what they call it. There's even a notebook I saw when I was looking it up, and it's like a notebook with that ice cream cone on it, and it's got like 3 different colors. Like I don't know. It's a British thing. Where's Toku Joe when you need him?
So what are the 3 movies? It's
Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End.
World's End. I still haven't seen that one.
It's good.
That's right here. I still haven't seen that one. I saw Paul. That's the one I watched.
Absolutely like it. But I didn't have copies of them, so I just ordered it, and I was excited because it's a British import. Which means it was way cheaper than the Japanese version.
Is it region free? You'll be able to play it?
I hope so.
Okay.
I sure hope so.
Okay.
I have a UK copy of the Lethal Weapon collection, and that works.
Well, some are region
I know
free.
some are and some aren't, but I was willing to take the risk. Look at my zipper to go. There you go. Double zipped.
Good. I'm glad you're secure now. You're not wearing pants, but you're double zipped up there.
Well, you got to stay extra warm on top.
I see.
To compensate for the bottom.
That's one thing I'd never understood too. I can't understand people sleeping through alarms, and I can't understand the guys that walk around with big heavy coats throughout the winter, but shorts.
And shorts.
They got like, the toque, the gloves, everything, walking around in the snow. Shorts.
Gotta stay loose.
I guess. Yeah. That's just freezing. Ugh. Ugh.
I don't get it. I mean, it's not as cold here, but what are you gonna do? People are people.
They are.
What did I put in the outline here?
You put stuff in there.
Oh, gosh. Yesterday, I called the U.S. Embassy. My kids have to have their passports renewed.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to go to the embassy. And you got to, fill out a bunch of forms and go through a big hassle. In order to get there, you got to first make an appointment. Make an appointment system where you're not allowed to call them up. You just go to the online website, and it shows you a little calendar. It shows you what dates are available. And I was looking, I saw one date in December, but it was only one appointment, and I have 2 kids. And the way they work it there, they say you're only allowed to make 1 appointment per transaction issue, whatever they call it. So I figured, all right, well, let me reserve the appointment, and then I will call them and see if it's possible to bring both my kids and have both things done at that same time. And if it can't be done, then I could just cancel the appointment. So I figured they're probably going to make me look through this online FAQ, all the things, because customer service is quickly being extinguished. You got to do all the work yourself. Go on the website, look all these things up. But I figured, let me just call them. Let's see what happens. So I find the telephone number. And the first thing that comes up says, if this is an emergency, or if you would like to speak to a representative, press 0 now. Oh, well, I want to speak to a representative. I want to go through that whole, if this is your case, press 1. If this is your
Yeah.
case, press 2. Push that 0 button. And it's ringing. I'm expecting it to ring for quite a bit, but after just 2, 3 rings, somebody picks up. Says, how can I help you? U.S. Embassy. It's like, oh, great. You know what? I made an appointment for this day, and I'm just curious if I can bring both my kids to have both their passports done at the same time. Took me just about that amount of time to say that, too. And immediately, the response I get is, oh, I think that information is on the FAQ on our website. And in fact, we only accept calls with these kind of questions from 10 o'clock to... No. She didn't even say this. I'm sorry. She didn't even say this. She said, I think that information is on our website, and we only accept calls at certain times for these kind of questions. Hang on a second. Immediately pushes a button that disconnects our call and then has a recording playing. If you would like to call the
Oh
embassy and
boy.
ask a question, please call back on Monday from 10 to 12 or Thursday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. And it just repeats this message over and over. I had a living person on the other end of the line. I asked her that quick question. Can I bring both my kids? All I needed was a yes or a no. And I couldn't even get that. They are so unwilling to help you. Even if you're like face to face or like directly talking at the moment. And she sent me to go do it yourself or call back at another time because I refuse to answer that question at this time. I can't believe it. It's every time I've needed some help from the embassy, I always got to go and jump through so many hoops. It's ridiculous. And it, by the way, the information was not on the FAQ. I have to wait till Monday.
You should record that, make a YouTube video out of it.
I really want to complain because for the life of me, I can't figure out what they do there. I know they process passports and they issue birth certificates for, when your kids are born in another country. I don't know what else they do, but it's like, whatever. I don't know why they are so busy, quote unquote busy, or if they're just not there, not doing anything.
The only thing I could think of is that maybe she didn't have the answer, and she would have had
No. Well, here's the thing. They have their they call them officers. I don't know what they're officers of, but they're the officers. You have to speak to the officer when you call, and a lot of the other people there are just like Japanese citizen workers that work in the office, and I kind of get the feeling that the officers are not there all the time. I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is it's really annoying.
Yeah, it sounds it.
That's it.
Yep. Government bureaucracy.
Yep.
Isn't it great?
And then when you go there, you got to go through metal detectors, and then they lock you in a little room that they really do lock you in. Like, you cannot just push the door open and leave. Everything is all controlled, and you got to bring all these papers, and you got to bring all these envelopes, and you can pass everything through the little window under the thing.
Yeah, government really doesn't put customer service ahead of pretty much anything. They just don't. It's like that everywhere, Oh, look, we got the llama. It's in quality customer disservice.
Oh, snap.
And
making fun of my country.
Sauce thinks he's the law. That's good.
I'm the law.
Have you watched that recently?
The Stallone one?
Yeah.
No, I tried a few years ago, and I couldn't make it through.
We're in agreement, though, that the newer one's much better than that.
I just watched that one like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it's good times.
Great.
Good times.
Do you have a busy life? What's this about?
Oh, well, I kind of talked about it already.
That was
yeah. So, I just spent all last weekend.
So what did you do at the apartment? You had to clean out furniture or something, or
There, the furniture's still there for the most part. It was all like, putting her kitchen. So everything got left to. So she was put into a home. It's kind of weird, because I don't. She is in a situation where she's has to go into, what they call assisted living, right? So where she's going, she can take some furniture and some things, but she doesn't need like all the stuff in her kitchen and all the stuff in her bathroom and all that. They take care of all that stuff there, right? So it's kind of a weird situation where it's almost like as if the person is dead, but they're still here. Like you.
yeah, that's kind of the it. At least when you mention that, like cleaning out her apartment, it just triggered flashback memories to when I like cleaned out my dad's place after he died,
Yeah,
and it's just that kind of whole
like
vibe of you're going through people's stuff and
yeah,
like, is this important? Does this have any emotional value to them?
yeah.
He was like,
Like we had
we just
to
got to get rid of it all.
take take out the will to see you know what goes to who and all that stuff, because she did have some items that were, I guess, in dispute or something, just a few things. It wasn't anything crazy though. Pretty
Hmm.
much everything went to Sarah and her sister, and they just agreed on pretty much everything. And
Well,
but
that's fortunate. It's always nice when the family is not petty about these things.
there's just no point, right? Like
Yeah,
at the end of the day, anything that it's there, like, you're really going to get into a big fight over, a stupid watch or something like that. Just go on eBay and
yeah.
buy another one, and make the problem goes away. Whatever the heck it is. Um, so yeah, like we had to, so like her kitchen had to be all packed up in that, because her sister took most of the stuff from the kitchen, and that all takes time, right? Doing all
Hmm.
that stuff. So it took like 2 full days to go through all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I haven't. So if I've been a little aloof lately to the people on the internet, that's why I've been busy.
Hmm.
That's all. Yeah,
Life.
yeah. Life gets in the way. You can't do the fun stuff.
Hmm. Fun stuff like Horizon 5 is Forza Horizon.
It
Forza
is.
Horizon 5 is.
It is. It's out now. It is. It's an is. It was coming, but now it is. It's an is. So yeah,
Okay.
I still find time to play some games. I'm not that busy. So I still find time to play games and to watch some movies, and that's what we're going to talk about.
Hmm.
So for Forza Horizon 5 is
Forza.
Forza is
Forza.
all what it's cracked up to be. Believe all the hype. Go in and play it. It's good times. I'm really enjoying it. I've enjoyed the other games in the series, and one thing, it is a little creepy though at times, because it kind of collects. There's we're in the fifth game now, and throughout all the games, it's been kind of collecting your stats and your data in the game. So when you go into to play this one, like for instance, like there's a thing where, in most of the games, there's this thing where you race a train, right? And they all the games kind of take place in a different area. Like 3 was in Australia, 4 was in the UK, and this one is in Mexico. And so you're getting ready to race a train, and the announcer comes on, and it calls you by your name too, which is a little weird. Like, it always
Mhm.
says Kevin. Hey, Kevin, how's it going, Kevin?
How many names do they have programmed in
They got
there?
a lot in there, and it sounds pretty natural too. It's not like stilted or anything. It's kind of creepy,
Wow, that
but
voice actor must have hated that day.
but then like they took it a step further with it collecting your stats, and it said, what did it say today? It was, so I had to race a train, and the game was like, hey Kevin, I know you raced a train before in Australia and then again in the UK, but this time the driver is really crazy, and it's weird because it's going through your history of the Forza series, and it knows it. It's almost like that, that what was that um, character in Metal Gear Solid, where it
Psycho
starts,
Mantis, I was thinking
yeah,
the same thing.
where it starts reading your memory card. But this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
really
yeah.
because it's going back in your history like a few years, and it just
Hmm.
kind of freaks you out. But It's a good time. It's really good. Lot of good
Tokujo,
cards.
there he is.
Hey, what did you had a question for him? What the heck was it?
I
I don't remember.
can't even remember. It was
Don't-
something about your native land, Tokujo.
yeah, something that
Needed
you
your
would know.
expertise.
I'm gonna open up
Ooh, what you cracking there?
just a boobly. I got the
Boobly?
Boobly.
What is a boobly?
It's a boobly.
What's a
It's
boobly?
carbonated water.
Oh, like a seltzer.
Yeah,
All right.
but with a little bit of lime.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah.
If I get bottled water, I get it from Germany. They got this one Gerolsteiner that they sell here.
Really
Yeah, it's nice and hard.
hard.
Man, well, like you sip it and you're like, ooh, I don't know if I like this. It's powerful.
Well, this was my sister-in-law's boobly. Nobody up there in Sudbury liked it, so we took they had bought a case and we took it home. So we like carbonated water, you know. And then
Carbonated water and 8 a.m. bedtimes.
cherry
Yeah,
boobly.
I screwed it up. Cherry booble.
I don't know if I could do cherry. I don't know if I can do cherry. There's blackberry. I tried that one. That one's really good. I like that one. But I'll take lime for free. The cherry always reminds me of cough syrup. Too much, you know. I don't know. I don't like cherry. Like I like cherries, but cherry flavoring, just it's cough syrup. Everything tastes like cough syrup.
I'm the same. Yeah, all those flavorings, they never sit well.
You know.
Give me just straight water.
And then lemon too.
Why
I
do I
don't
need
like.
flavor in my water?
I
Lemon,
like
I understand because lemon is like a medicinal thing. You know,
right,
I put
but
lemon in my water when I legitimately have a sore throat.
yeah, exactly. But like if like, and I like lemon pie and I like lemonade. But if someone like here's a lemon candy and I'm not like I'm feeling fine, like it just reminds me of being sick. I don't
That's like
want.
a throat lozenge. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want. I don't want that. That's just me. And then everyone's been asking me about Diablo 2. They want to get a Diablo 2 update. So um, here's your update for everyone who's been asking me. I have gone back in and I've played the game, and the game hasn't been crashing on me. I guess they did some update to it, so I've been having some good times with it. I'm almost finished it, and I plan on going through again and playing on hard because apparently playing on easy or normal is not the way to play it. You have to play it on hard, according to
If you want to be a real gamer,
the podcast that I was on, the Cartridge Club podcast. They say you must play on hard if you want to beat the game. So,
mm-hmm.
so I will do it. But just the Forza 5 is taking up the time, but I'll get there.
Shall I address this?
What's this? Lemon in his room temperature water, a box.
Water.
Copy.
Water is water. If you're putting lemon in there, it's got to be boiled water. It's the whole purpose. Hot lemon.
Hot
what you're going
lemon.
for.
I see. I don't mind a
lemon,
little bit. Like
I
if you took like a slice of lemon, and put that in regular water, that'd be okay.
People do that at fancier restaurants. They come around with that little.
That doesn't bother me. It's the lemon flavoring, like like a lemon candy.
Right, artificial lemon flavoring.
Yeah, I don't want.
Or even if it is some sort of natural flavoring, it just it doesn't. That's the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either let it be the thing that has the flavor. Put a cherry in there or a lemon in there, or just let it be water.
Right. Gotcha.
Oh man, I am so ready for these old man arguments. Just gonna shake my fist to no end.
Oh man, yeah. That's well. I when I went up to Sudbury, I talked to my buddy Frank, who we've been friends since elementary school days, and all we talked about was aches and pains and my progressive lenses and my glasses and
Ooh, progressives.
all that stuff. And I'm like, man, when did we turn into such old men? Like, but it was I brought him. He's been like, we used to collect comic books when we were kids, and he's gotten way back into it. And I had it like when I saw him on social media getting back into comic books, I had like just boxes of them, and I'm like, I'm next time I see him, I'm just gonna dump these all at his place because it's way too much in there. So I'd clear out myself a nice space because I had like when I moved from our house from Barrie to here in Stouffville in 2006, I brought all those comic books over here and I haven't looked at them once. So I dropped them. So I dropped him off at his place. You know, I got to his place one morning, and you know we chatted and dropped off all those comic books. And then as I was heading back to Sarah's aunt's, I'm like walking into the building, and he's texting me, and apparently in there, I had a copy of The Walking Dead 1, like the very.
I saw him post that. Yes.
Yeah, first printing of the first issue of The Walking Dead 1, which apparently goes for anywhere between $10,000 and $20,000.
Get out of here! That much?
If you go and you get it graded, and it gets a high enough grading, like a 9.8 or something like that. Like the last one, there was a 9.8, and it sold for $10,000 American, which you know is like $14,000-15,000 Canadian. So, so I said, thank you for texting me and letting me know this.
And then, of course, he returned it, saying, I can't possibly accept something.
That's what he wanted to do. That's what he wanted to do. But here's the thing. A lot of the comic books in there, in that collection, he bought them and stuff. There was stuff that he gave me, stuff that he would like. He would do this all the time. He would just like show up. Like we hadn't seen each other for 4 or 5 weeks, and he would show up with like 5 weeks worth of comic books for me to read. Like he would just like, here you go. Here's all these comic books. Like, so I'm not even sure if I bought it or if he bought it. So the way I look at it is he possibly bought it, and then I just stored it for like 20 years or whatever. So we're just going to split it 50-50. Yeah, which honestly, like if I would have done that, like if I would have sat here and gone through them and saw that there, I would have done the same thing too. What's this? In comics, Kevin's barely legal stash of mags.
Oh, that's Paul Giamatti's magazine of choice.
Barely legal, eh?
It's from the Sideways movie.
That's right, yeah. Barely legal.
Hey, Melissa's here.
I guess that's why Bill got all trashy. Saw Melissa, you went right for it.
Oh, man, comic books. You know, there were like two eras of comic books for me. When I was a kid, I used to go to the, the newspaper stand, and they'd have that little spin rack of comics, just all loosey-goosey on there. You just pull them out. Like, hey, all right, Spider-Man, I'll read this. Go back up 6 months later, grab a completely different one, no connection to the story, whatever. And I would just go through those and look through them and check out the artwork and try to draw the pictures and read the story again, check out the advertisements. They get all banged up and wrinkled and torn and stuff. Then I started going to comic book shops, and this is many years later, and that's when they were sold in the little cardboard and the plastic bags, and then you very carefully take it off and slip it out. Make sure your hands are clean and dry, and then you read through it once, and then you place it back in there, and you never look at it again. And that's, I had a couple of those long boxes of comics too, and they just sat there. But it doesn't compare to when I was a kid, and I just grab Spider-Man off the spin rack and enjoy looking at the thing instead of, because then it was like, I'm purchasing this, but I must protect it as an investment for the rest of my life. And eventually I got rid of them all too, because I don't care about safeguarding these comic books. And I absolutely would have sold them if I knew they were worth $15,000.
Well, what did I Oh, they're in the box there. There. It's funny because you mentioned that, and I like all those comic books that I bought. I don't know, 20 years ago, whatever. I gave back to him, but I did keep the stuff that I had when I was a kid, like the Spider-Man comics that I would get at the gas station. Like he had so many fill-ups, and then you'd get a comic book, you know?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, like there was like certain things that my parents could get, like I don't know, glasses, like drinking glasses or whatever, and I would bug them to get the Spider-Man comics. But they kind of annoyed me, right? Because you'd read them and they'd be like they'd refer to things in other comic books that you didn't have, you know, like
Yeah.
read
Little
episode,
asterisk,
yeah,
Fantastic Four,
right,
27.
yeah, 213. I'm like, what? Come on, they just give me a contained story in this one.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like they sell the trade paperbacks. You know, you can just get the whole collection, the whole story in one. If you really want to read it, read it.
Yeah,
I really wish I could shut off that part of my brain that wants to evaluate like the value of something, and you're always thinking about, oh, what does this cost? You know, how do I protect this? How do I preserve it? When I was a kid, an object was just an object. The toy was a toy. You take the GI Joe, you go outside, you rub it in the dirt, you have fun with it. Now it's you gotta keep it clean. You gotta make sure you keep all the accessories. And
so
I can't turn that part of my brain off. I just want something to be a thing.
right, yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know. As a kid, like when I was really young, I was pretty rough. Not I wouldn't say rough with my toys, but like, you know, they all had like all my He-Man had bite marks in them and that because my sister would chew on them and stuff like that. But then when I got, you know, when I got a little older, I would make sure that she wouldn't like I had like He-Man that I wouldn't let her touch, right? Because I knew that she would just start
Yeah,
chewing
you
on them.
protect them, sure,
Yeah.
but you still play with them. You know,
Oh, absolutely.
if the paint chipped a little bit on He-Man's boot, you're like, well, it
Yeah.
happens. It's a
It's
shame, but it happens.
yeah. All my dinky cars, as we called them here in Canada, they were all, you know, had chip paint and stuff like that
Hmm.
because you were using them. You're playing with them in the dirt and stuff.
Yeah, and then when you look at it, you think about the memory rather than just this hunk of plastic.
That's probably
And
why it
that's all it
holds
is
warm.
now. They're just
Yeah.
hunks of plastic now. Expensive plastic.
By the way, I went into the toy department in Walmart the other day because Sarah's big into puzzles now, and she's looking at like jigsaw puzzles. So I got to walk through the toys because they put the jigsaw puzzles in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked down this one aisle, and I swear to God, I had to double check and make sure it was 2021 because I walk in, and to my left was Optimus Prime Transformer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look over to the right, and it was all real Ghostbusters. Like I guess they reissued
Nice.
real Ghostbusters. And then as I
Yes. Yeah.
walk a little further, it was all the new He-Man that looks
Mm-hmm.
like the old He-Man, the retro He-Man. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what? This is my toy aisle. From like, who's buying these toys? Is it little kids or is it people my age?
The thing is, they've taken the toys like He-Man was early '80s. And then you
Yep.
got like Transformers, and then you got like Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles and stuff. They've taken like an entire decade worth of toys and like re-released them at the same time.
Yeah, pretty much. But there's no
I
like
still
where are
haven't
the
experienced this because they don't have the same selection here. But
where are the toys for the new kids? Are they just not interested in it? They're not buying it.
toys are for
They're
adults. New kids, they play with Legos and video games.
that's it, right?
Yeah, pretty
Nothing else.
much. I'm sure there's some TV show that has merchandise out now, but
Yeah.
it is the absolute truth. All these toys are for adults, the collectors. I mean, some kids they're conditioned by their parents. Like, you better buy this. You better take care of it. I'm gonna let you put it in your room, but you don't put a scratch on it.
Like I admit, I was tempted because they had Ram Man there for $5 off, regular
Ooh, Ratman.
25 Canadian, and it was down to 20 Canadian. And it's like that was one of the He-Man figure that I wanted when I was a kid, but like you know, like you had to get in that window, right? Like if you didn't get Ram Man at when he was available, and then he wasn't available, and they would move on with the toy line, and they would come up with like new toys. But the thing is, on the cartoon, Ram Man was on the cartoon all the time. So I missed out on getting Ram Man. I was so jealous of anyone who had it. And then I was like, here
Wow.
it is. I can get Ram Man for $20. But then Sarah's like, you don't need that. I'm like, you know what? You're probably right. I probably don't need that.
The voice of reason. You know what? I did have Ram Man as a kid, and
Yeah.
if I still had him, I'd give him to you because that figure sucked.
Well, I remember like half the time, like half the people who had it, the spring in his legs were broken, and he would be like,
Probably. It just, I mean, he was, all the other figures had the arm leg articulation. They were all the
yeah,
same mold, but then
yeah,
Ram Man was this big, blocky mess. Like, sure, you can make him shoot at somebody, but even without the spring, you could, just smash his head in somebody.
yeah. He was really probably the only character that was different, that didn't have that mold.
Yeah, there might have been one or two others, but basically they all had that stock
Yeah,
body type.
yeah.
Orko, Ram Man.
Orko was different. Mechaneck, the guy with the eyeballs.
No, Mechanic had the neck. That's why he's.
Oh, that's
Mechanic.
right, Mechaneck. No, who's the guy? Mantra. Was it Mantra? The
I don't
Hordak
know.
guy that had
I don't know anything about the She-Ra
had the
ones.
eyeballs and the big ears.
I had many faces. Many faces. Manny faces. Mechanic.
Sauce he just wants to get all into the dirty stuff. I don't know what's going on here. He's talking about fleshlights and adult toys. Wherever his brain goes. And the llama here says, Minecraft and Roblox. Those are the big games, right? Yeah, I think one of my nephews plays that at Roblox. I think it's like a building game, kind of like Minecraft.
Sure. I don't know. I'm out of touch with the toys of the youngsters.
Retro Fandango AD?
RFAD? What is it?
I think Retro Fandango adult. I don't know. What's RFAD stand for? I don't know.
Melissa knows the dirty stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, you want to talk about some DVDs?
Oh, yeah. Since it was such a big hit last time,
Why not?
I figured I would share
I got some DVDs here to talk about too. So
my new acquisitions. Last time on Retro Fandango, I talked about all my Resident Evil DVDs.
Yeah.
And I did pick up a few things. I got a copy of the Biohazard, the original, on DVD.
Nice.
Because I really like this box. I think it's really neat. It's really neat. And I even like the lettering of Biohazard on the side. Now this isn't exclusive to our YouTube watchers. Sorry, people who are listening. I also mentioned how.
There we go. Retro Fandango After Dark.
After Dark.
After Dark.
Is that an adult thing?
Yeah. That's that. Yeah.
I suppose.
After Dark.
Well, Bill knows what that is, apparently.
Listen. It wasn't us. It was the chat that got all down and dirty.
Yeah.
We say clean and pure.
We were talking about Roblox.
Right.
He-Mans.
Yeah.
And Resident Evils. See, this is the one I had that has the two sides.
Yeah.
Yep. I got another one, so I can put it like that. So, yeah.
These are like $1, right?
It was maybe like $2 or $3. Yeah.
Right.
So, but see, I can do the. You ever see those toys where they had the Anakin Skywalker and the Obi-Wan, where you could have them fighting, or you could like turn them and make it look like they were back to back. So I can have them shooting at each other, or I could have them, having a stand, like defending,
right,
and working together.
Right.
So
I'd go with working together.
Maybe.
Personally.
The one I was really looking for was this one, 3, which has the cardboard case. Very important. The cardboard case. Yeah. And you can't really tell, but it's a very reflective, like the light plays with the light behind. And all of these clouds and things down here, it's all textured to feel like sand because they were in the desert in this one.
That's neat.
And then actually, if you open it up, the cover on the inside is very different. And the second disc is hologrammy. It really doesn't play well on the computer, but it's very shiny and looks cool.
Hmm.
And I know these movies are garbage, in case anyone wants to point that out.
I'm surprised it hasn't been said already.
Yeah, I know they're garbage. Unfortunately, it's only 1, 2, and 3 that seem to have those really cool cardboard sleeves. Because once you get to like 4, it's just regular, DVD case, and it doesn't look cool. And this one was actually just $1, $1.10. But yeah, I still don't have 5 or 6 on DVD, so that's my goal in life.
Get those.
Mm-hmm.
That was it for the DVDs. That's it.
That's it. I did pick up a copy of Ed Wood, but I don't see it. I think it's way up on the top shelf there.
Did you watch it?
I did. I was going to mention that later on.
Okay.
I'll talk about it now. I had never seen Ed Wood. I had seen a lot of the other Tim Burton movies, and I got the ones I really like from the 80s, the Batman, the Beetlejuice, and Pee-wee and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then there's the couple that are kind of like like I like the first half of Edward Scissorhands, and then it just like jumps off a cliff.
Yeah.
Mars Attacks is like kind of fun, but super CG overload. And then like anything after that, all this Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Alice in Wonderland, I'd forget it. No interest. So I'd heard good.
He do Big Fish. Did he do that one? Was that him?
He did. I thought that one was okay, but I haven't seen it in a long time.
I've never seen it. So
it was okay from what I remember. I should watch that one again. Yeah, I should. And he did the Planet of the Apes remake.
No, yeah.
Like that. Anyway, I had never seen Ed Wood. I heard good things about it. I know it got like the 2 big thumbs up and all that. So I saw a copy. I was like, all right, fine, let me watch that. It was really, really, really good. I really enjoyed it. That was like, I was so happy to find another Tim Burton movie that I really liked. Just overall very entertaining, very well done. It's not overboard with the Tim Burton visuals. But it still has a little bit of his input there, kind of like Batman.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a little bit of his style without looking like Beetlejuice.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, Martin Landau as Bela Lugosi,
yeah,
amazing.
Howard Stern would play those clips like as soon as he moved over to Sirius and could play those clips uncensored.
Oh, right.
They got a lot of play.
Mm-hmm. It really hit me like when you get the call and you just hear, Eddie, help me. And I was like, oh no, Bella.
I haven't seen the movie in a very long time, like since the VHS days. But I would like to watch it again. Have you ever seen like an Ed Wood movie, like a proper Ed Wood film?
I've not. I know of them, the Plan 9 from Outer Space and Glen or Glenda and stuff. I'd heard about all these things, years and years ago, but I never brought myself to watch them because I heard, even though they're kind of laughably bad, that they're also just really slow. I've never seen one. Time to watch one.
I've never watched one, so hey, we got Dean here now too. Jeez.
Hey, Dino.
Well, I wanted to bring up a few DVDs here. Some are from the collection and some are newly acquired.
DVDs, you say?
Yeah. Well,
you're still slumming there.
Well, you see. Well, yeah, I do still get some DVDs.
How often do you pull a 4K release into your house?
Well, I could tell you exactly how often if I go and look on my list. But I would. Yeah, like my I keep track of everything, right? All the movies I watch.
Okay, watch.
You know this.
Right? No, I thought you meant buying. I thought you were into Eric territory of I purchased this on this day and it cost me this.
I do that for the music collection, but not the movie collection.
Okay.
But here's always my thing. So on Amazon, I got myself the Vertigo in 4K.
Ooh,
Came on
okay.
sale for, it was $15 or $20. I can't remember which, but this one usually goes for a little bit more. But I never got it on Blu-ray, so I was like, good idea to get it on 4K. But then what do I do with the DVD? Because I kind of like the DVD as well, right?
That's yeah. There are plenty of movies. As I upgrade, I find that there's some DVDs I gotta hang on to just
Yeah,
because they're really, really cool.
yeah. So like for instance, like we found Seven, movie Seven. It's one of Sarah's favorite movies. We found that out
Never
in the.
seen that. Is it really as good as people say?
It's, I guess it's polarizing now. At one point, it was like pretty much everyone's said, yeah, that was a good movie. Now everyone is kind of like up in the air with it. But anyways, found it on Blu-ray. I forgot to pull the Blu-ray, but it's just a regular looking Blu-ray that we found it used or whatever. It's one of her favorites. But then, what do we do with like this, this DVD edition where it pulls out and you got the Seven book? So the guy in Seven would keep like all of his craziness in like a book like this, and they
Oh, the
put the book
spiral
right in
note.
there.
I don't have Seven, but I have actual composition notebooks that
Oh,
look
there
like
you
that.
go.
This is
There you go.
gosh, when is this from? I don't know what's in here. I can't even read my own writing.
What do the pages look like? Do the pages look like that in the inside? That's what.
There's no blood, but no, they look like
Hmm.
regular pages.
Well, they put all like he typed it or something in there. I don't know.
My composition notebook. Used to get these in elementary school.
Anyways, it's a really cool set. So, like, what do you do with it? You gotta keep that. So
Yeah,
then you
not
end
to
up with like
interrupt
two.
your DVD show and time, but for example, like this copy of Alien.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get rid of this because it's in a really cool box. It's
Yeah.
the Ultimate Edition, and
Right.
it like folds out and it does all those pictures, and it's got like
Yeah.
really neat images and stuff on there. I can't get rid of that.
No, you gotta keep that.
Huh.
You gotta keep that. Well, and then when I was out thrifting one day, I showed this on Bill's show, but it's so good. You got to show it again.
Mm-hmm.
I found this Roger Rabbit on
Ooh.
DVD. And at first I was like, Roger Rabbit on DVD, I don't really need that. But then I flipped over the back and I saw all those extras. I'm like,
All the
well, they're
extras, that copy. I tried to get that years ago, and it was like really high priced.
lots. Yeah. And, you find it out there for like this might have been $3. But I'm like, I don't know. It's on DVD. And then I open it up and it's the dossier from Roger Rabbit. So I got, well, that's pretty cool. And then I open it up even further, and the discs on it are like
they're
film
reels.
reels. So,
And you got a
then you get
little autograph picture of Jessica Rabbit there.
blah blah blah. You get her, and you get
Mm-hmm.
Roger Rabbit, and then I don't know what the heck that is. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, DVD packaging, is unparalleled. I haven't seen a Blu-ray yet that makes me go nuts over the packaging.
Oh, and then this still has a $5 coupon. Save $5. Current owners of previously released Who Framed Roger Rabbit on DVD or video. I see. So if you had the old DVD, you can send, I guess, that in and get $5 off the new DVD. Well, you got to keep all that, right?
Yep.
So, and then so they also have like Blu-ray DVDs. They just sell them cheap at Walmart, $5, right? So I watched it not too long ago, and then this is when they had all their Halloween stuff out. They had just like a big bin of $5 horror DVDs in there, and in there I found The Stand. I said, "Wow, I enjoyed
TV
the It
movie, right?
Yeah. I enjoyed the It. Might as well give The Stand a shot." And usually,
Is that the one that has Bill Faber? I can't say his name.
I don't
was
know
on
who the heck's in
Coach.
this. Oh, yeah, I think so.
He was the big guy on Coach.
Yeah.
Dauber, is that his name?
Yeah, I think Dauber's in this. Anyways,
He's
usually
also
this
the voice of Patrick on
you only
SpongeBob.
get like
Yeah, those
that's
cheapo DVDs.
right. Usually that's what you get. But then I saw. Now this is for $5,
Mhm.
so I wasn't going to buy it, but I saw the Evil Dead there, the first Evil
Hey,
Dead,
yeah.
and it felt like there was a lot of weight to this thing for $5.
Mhm.
And I flip over the back, and it's got 3 discs in there, 3
Mhm.
DVDs. But this still felt like there's still a lot of weight there for 3 DVDs. There's a lot of stuff in there.
You got
So
some paper.
I buy this thing, I get it home, I open it up, and there's a friggin' 2-sided poster.
Whoa!
Like, this thing is worth the $5 alone. I'd pay $5 for this. You got 2-sided. So you got that side
Yes.
with the side, and then you got that side.
What's
with
the difference?
Well, one is like this. That's side one. And then the other one's like this. That's side 2. See? It's what we call in the business a variation.
Okay.
Variation. I guess the big thing is that there's like a cross in there. Maybe.
Oh, I
don't
couldn't
know.
see the cross. I see
Maybe.
that the text is a little different. One smaller on one side, and then there's a pull quote.
The producers recommend that no one under 17 be allowed to see The Evil Dead.
Oh,
Yeah. So there you go. And yeah, it's like 3 discs worth of stuff in there.
so
So
let me ask you. All the extra discs, all the extra content. How likely is it that you're going to get in there and watch some of that?
I probably will. Like for a movie like this, with all the, because I know that Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi, they go like way into how movies are made and that. I find those guys interesting.
They do have good commentary.
Yeah. So, normal, like if we're talking about like for instance, the Resident Evil movies commentary, probably not going to happen. But for
There's a
something
lot
like
of
this,
extra stuff in these. These are the deluxe editions, and
yeah.
I think it was part 2. It said like deleted scenes. I'm pretty sure there's like 20 deleted scenes.
It's a lot.
I haven't watched any of them yet, but
that's a lot of deleting.
Someday.
So, and then I pulled this up because I wanted to show you how cool. I've kept this for forever. This is my Terminator 2 DVDs. Even though I have this on Blu-ray and in 4K, I think 2 different versions in Blu-ray and in 4K. But I had to keep, because it's got this cool metal slip cover. It just looks metal. And I was looking at, because this has all the extras, and then this was my go-to for setting up surround sound all the time, because this thing had like this awesome extra on the disc that it would do this thing where it would send audio to all the channels or all the speakers separately to allow you to properly hook up your surround sound through the DVD player. I thought this is awesome. And then I opened it up and realized that my disc is missing.
Oh no.
It's missing. I have the disc with the extras on it, but the feature film is gone.
Wow.
So
what it's still in some machine that you were setting up sound.
I probably set something up, and then never used or whatever, and then got rid of the DVD player and didn't think to open it up and check. So if anyone out there finds like maybe this without the slip cover or something for cheap, $2-3, pick it up, because I need the first disc. All Points Bulletin.
My Terminator 2 DVD is not the steel one. It's Arnie in a fire. It's got this kind of plasticky thing, and then if you slip it out, he becomes the Terminator.
That is cool.
Like just the exoskeleton. That is neat.
Cool.
And that's the reason why I will not get rid of these, like regardless of if I, update.
Oh yeah. Bill here reminds
the cool packaging.
Bill here mentions the DVD release that had the rubber
Necronomicon. Yeah, there were a lot of Evil Dead releases where you got like the book and
I think it was a
snowy
VHS
rubber.
too. But yeah, I think a
Might
lot
have
of
been.
the people have said that the rubber has come apart over the years. So if you find
Just
one in
kind
good
of
condition,
breaks away.
yeah, you might want to pick it up. So there you go. And then finally, I did buy a brand new DVD set that had a price drop on Amazon. I had to grab it. Uh, Tell me, boys and girls out there, you must have heard of the stellar series from the 1960s starring Burt Reynolds called Dan August. This is the complete collection, all 26 episodes, and the TV movie. And it not only stars Burt Reynolds, but it also has Mr. Roper in there. Oh, which one?
Ooh.
AKA Norman Fell. So yeah, this is like a straight up 60s buddy cop TV show where they just go on a rampage and solve crimes and that. You can watch episodes of the show on YouTube if you want to see it for free to get a feel for the show, but it's not exceptional quality. So you need the DVD experience if you want Dan August for real. So there you go. Still sealed.
Is that going to be opened up and enjoyed, or is that just going onto the Burt shrine?
I'm opening it up right now.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm definitely going to watch. I watched like a few episodes on YouTube to get a feel for the series, and not every episode's on there. It is missing a few things.
I can honestly say I've never heard of that show before. What year?
I think
late 70s,
like late 60s, early 70s.
Oh, gosh,
this was like before he became, a superstar, right?
Is that before Mr. Roper was Mr. Roper?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. He was just Norman Fell. So see, now here's the thing with DVDs these days. You get this? No, it's just so the DVDs are in envelopes.
Oh, when did they do that?
And it's like double-sided. They do anything to save money on these sets.
That's
now.
New DVDs.
This is a brand new DVD. Yeah.
Wow.
It goes in there like that. That's no good. I don't like that.
That's depressing. Just we spent 20 minutes talking about how great DVD packaging is.
It's how great it used to be. It's not great anymore.
Wow.
Well, it's in fairness, like a set like this, 26 episodes and a TV movie, you would probably pay, full price, $50 or $60. Maybe you'd get it on sale for $30 or $40, but that's how much it would cost, and it would be like this elaborate packaging. Now they just crap it out, as much, and I only paid $20 for it.
Yeah, well, that's true. A lot of those TV show packs, they would have really nice packaging for some, but then others. One that I was really tempted to buy years back was the Married with Children complete set. But then I heard horror stories, people saying, well, they're on a spindle. It's just a stack of DVDs.
That's how my
you have to lift them all off,
yep.
and I don't want to do that. I'm just
that's how my Sanford
and scratching them.
My Sanford and Son collection is like that. It's just a spin. It's just a little cake in a box, and yeah. But the thing that they come out with now is it's like this big cake, like a plastic thing. I'll go get it. It's a lot easier to show you. Entertain everyone for a second.
Entertain everyone. Overture curtains lights. Oh gosh. Well, in the mood of showing things off, I don't know if I have anything that I haven't shown before. Sorry, folks. I ain't showing you nothing. Instead, we can look around in the back of Kevin's house. Is that a drum kit or a trash can? Is that a drum? You don't have your ears on yet. Is that your drum kit behind you?
That's Sarah's drum kit.
Okay, because I couldn't tell if it was a drum or a trash can.
No, it's Sarah's drum kit. And
no offense, it's just very small in the back.
We've been threatening to sell it for, I don't know, like about 5 years now. And it was in the garage, but I had to make room in the garage to work on Sarah's car because when she hit that stop sign, her bumper got cracked. So I went in, replaced her bumper. We ordered a bumper from Quebec, and it
Mhm.
came, and I pulled the old one off and put the new one on.
You're like the crusty old guy in a movie. You're telling her she's got to sell her drum set and give up on her dreams.
She is the one who wants to sell it, not me.
Oh. Well,
So there you
why are
go.
you trying to stop her from doing what she wants to do?
I can't win, right? So like we were talking about, see, like this is the way DVDs, TV sets used to be packaged. Like you got the cardboard and all sorts of like they put all little things in there.
Oh, you had to choose The Simpsons. Now Rocket Sauce won't be quiet.
All that imagery and everything,
Yeah, that's
and
great.
like
That's what you want.
a nice little home for every single disc, right?
Yes, that's beautiful.
But these sets were like at least, I'm talking Canadian, at least $40, back in the day. Now it comes like this. This is a complete, like this was one season of the show. This is the entire Mary Tyler Moore series, and it comes like just in a big. Hopefully none of them fall out, but like stacked in there like that.
Just yeah. There's no grace inside there. It's just
no, and the discs are just
in.
packed in there. You have to fish out the one that you want. Basically, what Sarah and I do is we take them all out, put them in like put them in a binder so you can watch like one at a time, and then when we're done, we put them all back in there.
Yeah.
Great series, though. By the way, we watched the whole thing this past summer.
But granted, I think with something like a TV series, when you watch through that, you're not going to watch through it that often.
See, here's an empty one because all the discs are still in. There you go. Like, it doesn't even fit in there. Like, I hate these things. But yeah, like they were cheap, right? It was like this. This was like $40, and I think this was $30 or $40 too. So you get every season, the entire run.
Rocket Sauce mentioning the first few seasons came with some great packaging. I'm assuming he's talking about The Simpsons, and I've heard that I saw somebody post a photo where it's like they're all uniform, and then there's one that's like in this big yellow zipper case. And then they go back to being the regular packaging.
They did that for a few of them. I remember there was such a backlash because I think it was up to season 5 or 6 that they put them all in nice cardboard cases. And then when the 7th season or something came out, they put it in it was like a mock of Homer's face, right? And then they did that. They did that for a while. They did all the characters, but then I think if I remember correctly, they put out like 2 different versions. For a while, they had like the regular, case for the people who wanted the regular one, and then like one of a mock-up face or something like that, if I remember correctly. But season 6, yeah, it might have been season 6 or something. I can't remember. Anyways, yeah, those packages were never that. They're that great. I never got any of them. I only have up to season 5, I think. I'm looking for 6, but
yeah, honestly though, as much as I think that Mary Tyler Moore packaging is crammed in there way too much, I don't like having seasons of a TV show on disc because it takes up so much space, and because you have to open it up, unfold it all, and constantly get a different disc. So if it's a smaller package, that's great, or if it is kind of contained.
Yeah. That is a good point because like those 5 seasons of The Simpsons takes up, way more space, like compared to this where it's just the entire thing is on your shelf
gosh, that doesn't look so bad now. I mentioned that Lethal Weapon Blu-ray before. That one I don't really like the package because it's like 5 discs in one fat Blu-ray case.
Yeah.
And it's a little awkward to open. There's some rubber thing in there that kind of keeps it closing. I feel like I'm going to break the thing. I much prefer if it's just an individual film in an individual case.
Okay, there we go. So Mrs. Q-Dog has up to season 9. Season 6, we have the head package. The head package.
That would be fun if it were kind of a reference to something in the show. Like if Homer had a set of DVDs or something, and then one was a weird shape, and then they did that.
Yeah.
like as an in joke, but
Yeah.
man,
All right. Hey, we
I
haven't even
remember
started.
seeing that thing.
We haven't talked about movies yet, so let's get to it.
Okay.
Because we only got about 20 more
Well, I
minutes.
did. I talked about Ed Wood, and it was a really
Oh,
good
that's right.
movie.
Okay. Well, we both watched, as we mentioned in the last episode, we were both going to watch Romeo Must Die,
Mm-hmm.
and we both watched it. And
Two different levels.
what do you mean? Two different levels.
Well, I turned it off after
Oh,
20 something minutes
and I
because I
watched the whole
couldn't take
thing.
it anymore.
I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't think it was so bad where you needed to turn it off after
It
a few
was
minutes.
obnoxious. Like it, I wasn't. Jet Li's character was barely in it for what I saw. Like they don't really establish who he is or why he's breaking out of jail or whatever. You're focused on all these other people. You're focused on these villains, and you're focused on DMX is in there, and then some girl who had to be watched. I don't know who she was, but then her
It's very
bodyguard.
clumsy. It's very clumsy told. Like
And
it's
then basically, as soon as the bodyguard was introduced, who I forget the actor's name, but he's like one of those comedic actors of the time. And he's supposed to watch her and says, "I can't let you out of my sight." And the very next scene, they're in a music store and he's got headphones on and he's
not paying attention.
not looking at all. And I'm like, it's the joke. He's can't pay attention. It's like, forget it.
His
I
character
haven't
was
seen
not
I
working.
haven't seen anything to make me stay and watch this.
Well,
So I turned it off.
I stayed for the martial arts because I was waiting for it to happen.
I was waiting
and
for it. Yeah.
it finally does happen, and there is a couple of pretty good fight scenes in it. A little too much wire foo. You know what I mean? Like
I saw wires in the early on. There's one scene where a guy, he's like hovering in the air and then he kicks one way and then he 180 kicks the other way.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. But yeah, like there was just one scene where he got in a fight with a bunch of gangsters, and he's like fighting and doing that, and then he pulls down the pants of one of the gangsters, and the guy's wearing like a, what do they call it, banana hammock? You know, where it's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And we got a chuckle out of that. But that was it. That was pretty much it. It's yeah, it wasn't the best. I didn't feel completely cheated by watching the whole thing, but it's never something I would ever watch again.
There was a time in the early 2000s where it became a thing where it was martial artists doing movies with rappers.
Yeah.
And it became its own little subgenre for a year or two.
Maybe it was like the Rush Hour thing, like maybe because of the popularity
Rush
of
Hour.
that.
There was Steven Seagal did a couple with DMX, and there's one that is terrible, but I actually like it. Half Past Dead. It's Steven Seagal in a do-rag in a prison with
if I remember
who
correctly,
the rapper was in that one.
Romeo Must Die. The director Romeo Must Die. Yeah, did that one of the DMX.
That makes sense to me.
There's Cradle to the Grave, which has DMX and Jet Li, and then there's Exit Wounds, which has DMX and Steven Seagal.
And Half Past Dead, Steven Seagal, and somebody else. I forget who.
Okay. Well, there you go. Anyways, not a great one. If you want some good kung fu, I got some good, solid recommendations for you because I have been watching. First of all, I wrapped up the Ip Man series with my boy Donnie Yen. Mm-hmm. Now, if you may recall, the last time I talked about Ip Man, he fought Mike Tyson.
Yes.
Which for me is the absolute low point of the series. You can't get any lower than that. I don't like Mike Tyson at all. I think like this whole business where we're just looking past the fact that he's a big rapist is just, I don't know. It's kind of disturbing on some, like, I don't understand why he gets a pass. Meanwhile, like Al Franken took a like awkward photo with a girl 10 years ago, and he can't be a senator. I don't understand that.
Well, I'm guessing it's because this Ip Man movie was not made in America, right?
No, it's not. But they absolutely used like they wanted some sort of star power in there, and they kind of
Right. So
wedged in. Like they like, oh, we can get Mike Tyson in this movie, and they wedged him into the story and that.
well,
So
maybe Al Franken can be in Eat Man 7.
I personally I think it's like kind of blind racism, you know, like where if a white guy, famous guy, like say like Justin Bieber, right, smokes pot, oh my god, like we got to get this on the friggin' news, we got to tell everybody now Justin Bieber's a bad guy. Meanwhile, Snoop Dogg, because it's kind of expected of him, like oh yeah, he's gonna be he's the black guy, he's a rapper, he can do whatever it's I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand.
It sometimes does not go both ways. There was I forget who posted it. It might have been Josh Society, Josh, who posted this a while ago. But I remember seeing it was a page out of a comic book, and it was a scene with Nick Fury, and in the comic it was the Samuel L. Jackson Nick Fury, and he's talking to some Shield guy.
Bye, Melissa.
Oh, goodbye.
We got Rachel, so that was it. She was gone.
Well, I was just gonna say the show's probably gonna get a whole lot cleaner from here on out. So they got the Nick Fury, Sam Jackson Nick Fury talking to somebody from Shield, and he's explaining how there's like another universe, and he says like, "Oh, we got a Nick Fury in our universe too." So he asks, "Oh, what's he like?" And he says, "He's white." And then the Sam Jackson Nick Fury's response is something like, "Oh, that's a shame," or "I'm sorry to hear that." And I just remember thinking, if that were reversed, a whole lot of people would get fired right now. Yeah. It's like,
yeah,
I get it, but at the same time, I
don't mind. Like, I don't. That stuff I don't mind. Like, sure, take a dig at us for whatever. It's fine. But like, I don't know. That's like,
it's more like that humor had its place in like the 70s and 80s when there was still I'm not saying this fight is over, but there was more of a fight for equality and stuff. But it kind of feels like we've reached the point where if everything is supposed to be, look, we're not making jokes anymore, it's got to be some equal rights. You still got it got to go all directions,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm
not offended. I'm not going to go take a stand.
I'm offended.
I'm just pointing out where one-way racism is. I don't know.
Anyways, we solved racism, so that was good.
Yes.
Let me get back because I was about to plug Eat Man 4, because then the series to me took a turn for the better for Eat Man 4. So there's 4 movies. The first 2 are great. The third one's okay, the Mike Tyson stuff, but mostly okay. But the 4th one brings it on back, and it was a great finale for the series. So if you want some good kung fu, it does get a little wiry fu at times. But for the most part, those are great series. You got Sammo Hung in there that does a lot of the choreography for the movies.
He's still around, huh?
He's actually in one of the movies. Well, these movies are, like I think Eat Man 4 came out in a couple of years ago in 2019, and so like everything's a little bit about a decade old. But he does a lot of the choreography in the movies and that, and it's good times. So definitely check out those ones. I think I asked you in the past if they were on your Netflix in Japan, but they're not. That's too bad. But if you can find the Blu-rays for cheap or whatever, definitely check them out. I think you would like them. So that was good. And then the director, Wilson Ip, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's YIP. He directed this other movie called Paradox. It came out in 2017. And that's another, I don't know. This one, like, if you look at the reviews on Letterboxd, it got some pretty bad reviews, but I watched it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. This one, it's again, we got some weird wire fu moments in the movies that was kind of unnecessary, but for the most part, it's like It's a really good thriller with plenty of twists in it and that. It's about this guy who his daughter goes missing. He's living in Hong Kong. His daughter goes off to Thailand and disappears. Can't find her. So then he heads over to Thailand to try to find her. And I don't want to say too much. He has a friend there and that. And it kind of like there's some cliches in there, but I don't know. There's some good twists in there and that too. But it's basically this old guy. He's like 50 years old, and he's just walking into rooms and where's my daughter? Nobody knows. Okay, then he just starts breaking everybody's arm until he finds out. Until he gets to the next. So it kind of has a little bit of that Taken vibe, with Liam Neeson. But a heck of a lot better. Like just better. And it's not just because it's Korean or whatever. It's good. It's good stuff. And then it's got the kung fu in it, so naturally good. And then was there another kung fu movie? I think that was it. I watched a Jackie Chan movie called The Protector from the 80s, and this movie starts off and it looks like it's going to be fantastic. It's Jackie Chan and Danny what's his name? Danny why can't I say his name?
Danny Bonaducci?
No, Danny Aiello. Danny Aiello. From Do the Right Thing. He's an Italian guy. Anyways, it wasn't a great movie. It was one of the attempts to bring Jackie Chan over to the North American audiences. And for some reason, like anytime Jackie tried to do this with American influence, they never just let him be Jackie Chan. He says like, I want to do all these stunts and everything like that for the American audience. But every time he comes over, they're like, no, we're going to like, not let you do too many stunts. You can do some stunts, but not too many stunts, and it's always a little disappointing. So it starts off really good. Like it's takes place in Detroit. Oh no, sorry. He's a New York City cop, and Danny Aiello's his partner. And, it's like that 80s, there's a bunch of punk rockers running around, dystopian, garbage everywhere. He's a gritty cop, and, they both have to fight crime and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden something happens with drug lords and that, and they have to go off to Hong Kong to do the rest of the movie, because Americans need that transition. They need to like start in America and then move over to Hong Kong. Can't just like start in Hong Kong. Then it's cheesy. It wasn't that great. So there's better Jackie Chan movies out there. That was it for the kung fu. I did want to recommend. Have you ever seen the Steve Martin movie from the 80s called Parenthood?
Yes.
I rewatched that the other day. That was one of the ones we had on tape as a kid. We used to watch it over and over again. I don't know how my parents let me watch this movie because there's a ton of adult humor in it.
It's all relationshipy.
Yeah, and as a kid, there was parts of it where I thought was boring, but as an adult, I can now enjoy the kid parts and the adult parts. And let me tell you, I loved it. It's been 30 years since I've seen it, and Rick Moranis is in it as well. It's directed by Ron Howard, and this is like his underrated film. This is the one that doesn't get as much praise as it. Like I generally find Ron Howard's films are a little bit overrated. This is the
except
underrated
for Willow.
one. Sure.
Except for Willow. Willow's awesome.
I like Willow a lot, but I think it gets the right amount of praise.
It's awesome.
Anyways, Parenthood. Yeah, it's about relationships and all that stuff. You got Keanu Reeves is in it too.
Ted Theodore Logan.
But
basically playing the same character.
But I don't know how my parents let me. Like I was probably, I was a little bit older. I was like 12 or 13 by the time we saw it. Right, like it came out in 1989, so we probably didn't see it until somewhere in 1990, right? Because it would take a full year for it to come out on VHS, and then my dad would, he would get it at the rental store in the middle of the week, and then tape it, record it, so we could watch it on the weekend. That's the only way we got like new movies. Because if you tried to get a new movie on the weekend, forget it; it would be gone. Because our rental store did this crazy thing where they would only get one copy of a movie until Blockbuster came, and they would get like multiple copies of movies. Anyways, so I was probably like 12 or 13 when I saw this movie, but my sister was like, I don't know, 9 or 10 watching this movie. And there's one part in the movie where the whole family's sitting at the table and the power goes out, right? So Steve Martin goes and they're at his sister's house. He goes and starts looking for a flashlight. He can't find the flashlight. And then he finds one and he comes in the dining room. He's like, I got this flashlight, but I can't tell how to turn it on.
Right.
Then the lights come on and he's holding her vibrator. It was pretty funny.
I guess that's why your parents let you watch it, because it's over your head, you know?
Totally. I don't know. Like if I was 12 or 13, I probably knew what it was, but my sister probably didn't know it. She's probably like, what's that, mommy? You know, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And then there's just so many jokes.
Oh, he made a funny face. Yeah.
Like there's so many jokes. Like there's one, well, it's not really a joke, but there's part in the movie where Rick Moranis' wife pokes a hole in her diaphragm because she wants to get pregnant, but she doesn't want him to know that he wants to get pregnant. And he kind of checks it out. And like how, like that stuff just must have went over my head. Like I just didn't. But
yeah, it's the talky parts. Yeah, you kind of wait for it to get to the silly faces again.
But I think I turned out fine. You know, I didn't become like some sort of sex maniac or anything like that. I don't think. Maybe I did, but I don't think so.
Oh.
I think we put like too much on kids, you know, like, oh no, you can only watch this, you can only watch that. I think parents have too many options now. You know, back in the day, like when I was a kid, like I had to watch whatever my parents watched, right? I didn't get to choose the movies. My dad would just bring the movies over. And my dad didn't know what the heck he was doing, right? He would see Steve Martin in a movie. Okay, the kids would like this. He didn't like actually look at what the rating was. John Candy's in a movie. Oh, kids will like that. And then we'd be watching it together as a family. You know?
Yeah, my aunt did that. She worked in a video shop and she would rent them and then, you know, make copies of them and just give them to us. So just show up and say, "Hey, here's a bunch of movies." And sometimes they were, you know, fine for kids. Other times they had a little risque stuff in it, and other times it was RoboCop. So, you know, yeah, what you got?
So one more movie. Well, okay, I'll just quickly mention. I'll talk about one more movie, and then quickly mention one more. So on Letterboxd, they give you like if you've almost finished a series of movies, like for instance, like in my almost completed series of movies is the Indiana Jones movies, right? Because I watched
because you won't watch the fourth one.
Right, exactly. I recently watched the 3, and then the fourth one is just sitting there and it's like, hey, you almost finished the series. And I'm like, you know what? I'm never gonna finish that series. But one of the ones that's in this list was the Cannonball Run movies. There was 1 and 2, and I'm like, what? There was no Cannonball Run 3. But I'm wrong. There is a Cannonball Run 3. Oh. But it's called Speed Zone, starring John Candy and Eugene Levy, and Jamie Farr makes a tiny little appearance. A bunch of Donna Dixon is in it. A bunch of actors, but I'm like, how can I? Speed Zone. I've never even heard of this movie. I'm looking at like seeing all these actors and everything like that. It's the third movie in there. How can I watch this thing? I go and look to download it. Can't find it to download it. None of the streaming services have it. Wouldn't you know it? One of the channels that I follow on YouTube, YouTube must like Google must have saw what I was searching for or something and put it in there. But one of the channels that I follow called the Car Land Wonderland that just shows car chases and all that. They had the full cut of the movie up on YouTube. It's been up there since 2016. And what the heck? So there, I sat and watched Speed Zone. As I'm watching the movie, I'm realizing I must have seen this as a kid because a lot of the things seem very familiar to me. Like for some weird reason, I've always felt and assumed that Joe Flaherty, who you may know from SCTV, is a really strong and tough guy. But he's not a strong and tough guy. He's like, you know, just an average, you know, shape of a man, right? But in this movie, he like takes a Lamborghini and he tears it apart with his bare hands. and he's playing like this tough guy, tough mob guy, right? Like
Mhm.
that, but this must be where I got that impression from, that he's like this tough guy.
Yeah, sometimes
Anyways,
it's back there in your subconscious. I'll
yeah,
watch a movie once in a while, and it's like something familiar about this. I don't remember it, but
yeah. Rocket Sauce,
something's clicking.
you've seen the Speed Zone? Yeah, it is not good. It is terrible. It is quite
Mhm.
awful. It actually makes you appreciate Cannonball Run and Cannonball 2 a lot. Like it makes you like think like, wow, they really, because like John Candy made this movie in the exact same year that he did Uncle Buck. And he's
Oh,
doing
okay.
like he's not doing his an Uncle Buck before, but he's doing his John Candy thing, right? But you could just tell the people working around him did not know what the heck to do with him. Like they completely ruined his character, what he was going for, like the whole thing. And then like, you know, in Uncle Buck, like, you know, they got it. Like it's 100% spot on, right?
Mhm.
Like there's this one scene where he's like speeding around in this car, and then him and Donna Dixon are just having like this casual conversation as like all this, like they're driving around and speeding around, and it just like it doesn't work. Like none of it works. Doesn't make any sense. There's this one part where you could tell that he did the same take twice, and they put both takes in the movie. Uh, like so he's sitting there and he's driving along, and he's got like a coffee or a hot chocolate or something in his hand, and he hits a bump, and it goes everywhere, right?
Mhm.
And then it cuts, and he's being chased by this truck, like it's a scene from Duel or something. He's being chased by this truck, and it cuts to the truck, and then it goes back to him, and this time he's driving along and he's smoking a cigarette, and he hits a bump, and the cigarette ash goes in between Donna Dixon's legs and starts burning a hole in the thing. So you tell that like they did that take twice, and they couldn't tell like, should we do it with coffee or should we do it the cigarette ash?
Let's do
Which one?
both.
Let's do both, and we'll figure out which one in editing. And for some reason, this idiot director, editor,
It
I don't
it
know who's
sounds
fault.
like it sounds like a Naked Gun gag where like then they do it again, but he'd have a fishbowl or something.
Right, but
Just
this wasn't intentionally unintentional. You know what I mean?
not that kind of movie, right?
Yeah. So it just, yeah. But sometimes you need like a really bad movie like that to make you appreciate other movies. So I enjoyed the fact that I watched it for free on YouTube. You can go check it out. Car Chase Wonderland. Go check out Speed Zone, aka Cannonball Fever, aka Cannonball Run 3.
Occasionally, you find one of those movies that you just can't track down, but then hey, YouTube's got it.
Yeah, another one I thought I had found was I've been dying to watch Super Cop 2. So there's a movie that Jackie Chan did called Super Cop, and it was him and Michelle Yeoh, and then they did like a sequel with just Michelle Yeoh, and it's called Super Cop 2. But I can't find it anywhere. And I thought I found it on YouTube. I was like, oh my god, they had Cannonball Run 3 on here. Maybe they got Super Cop 2. So I found it. I'm like, this is awesome. They got the whole thing on YouTube. So I made a whole plan to watch it the next day. I'm like, I'm gonna set some time and I'm gonna be able to finally watch Super Cop 2 with Michelle Yeoh. And I sat down and I pressed play. I started watching it, and it's in Mandarin with no English subtitles.
Well, it's there.
And then somebody uploaded it in French with the French dub. Like, you son, no English dub. Come
A
on.
lot of times that stuff flies easier. I don't know why, but you can find movies in other
Yeah.
languages.
Yeah, it doesn't get flagged.
I don't know.
All right. And one more movie I just want to mention quickly. I finally watched the 1989 version of The Blob.
How is that? I've heard good things.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I want to see that.
I think it's on Tubi. No, I actually watched it on CTV. That's what I watched it on. Canadian Television.ca. They had it up there completely unedited, but they do insert commercials in it. So that kind of stuff. But I just wanted to watch it because everybody's been telling me to watch it. And yeah, it's
I remember seeing the original Blob on TV when I was a kid.
Steve
and
McQueen.
just like,
Yeah,
not really. It's kind of boring, You just wait
Yeah.
for, oh, look, there's Jello coming now. And then people are talking. talking. Or...
Yeah, this one's a very it's a loose remake. You know, it's not doesn't follow the original one that much.
I don't care about like
Yeah,
classic story or whatever. And
right.
this kind of stuff. It's just
But
I've heard it's a good horror movie.
yeah, it is. It's pretty good. The acting is very shaky in it. Like the girl in this movie, I can't believe that she went on to have a career, to be honest, because her acting was not great. It actually makes you, again, you're watching her and it's like, man, I really appreciate what Sigourney Weaver did in those Alien movies, because my goodness, I don't know if that was the vibe that they were going for or what, but I don't know. It was really shaky, but it's a fun 80s monster movie. It's got a bunch of cliches in it, but it does it all like very well. The effects are practical. Like it's got that Ghostbusters 2 kind of look. It's a movie from 1988, so it's got that, you know, a lot of green screen and stuff like that, but it's good. Very well done.
All right.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I talked enough.
Yeah, I don't got anything either. Oh.
That's enough.
Oh, I think it's time for breakfast.
This is how we wrap up a show. We yawn and we stretch.
The old man. And I adjust my back cushion. Oh, there's my other pickup. I have a back cushion on this chair. Got one in the car. I actually got two in the car.
You got them all over the place now.
I get back pain if I sit, too long. So get a little support cushion there. Everything's aces.
With that, we will wrap up the Old Man podcast with saying follow us on Twitter at @retro_Fandango, because someone has @RetroFandango and they won't let us have it. Don't forget to get a boner with Retro Fandango. Eventually, that soundboard is going to come back. It's going to come back.
Boner.
I swear. And check out our Discord. I see that I think Derek left a comment.
Really?
Week. I think so. I'd have to open it up to find out what he said, but
go get Discord.
Yeah,
Discord's
you don't want
awesome.
to miss Derek's comment on about our last previous episode. That's exclusive to our Discord channel. Other people's got crazy Discords going, constant stuff on there. Not ours. Oh, Bill's making fun of your car. Says that cushion fits in Vox's car.
Oh, Bill's got one joke.
He's got a couple. He's got a few. I got to actually sit down with Bill last Thursday as I drove up through Barrie. Because on our way to Sudbury, we drive through Barrie and have breakfast with them.
Did he mention how you did not give him a $15,000 comic?
He didn't know that at the time. I didn't know. Oh. It was in our car.
All right.
Yeah, I bet you. I did give him those. You might have noticed that the shelves are gone here.
Oh yeah, your VHS shelves. You did pass those on.
Get them out of here. I'm not collecting VHS.
So what are you doing with your VHS tapes? They're just naked in the wind now?
Well, here's the thing. I actually sold Haji a stack of NES games because he's going for a 650 collection.
Yeah, he's going fast. He updates like every day. I got another stack of games.
Well, I got him to give me his list, and I just sold him a whack of them. So that space that cleared out, I just put the VHS tapes in there. They're on their side, but I just threw them there.
Let me ask you this about your movies. You have your Blu-rays in a Blu-ray section. You got your VHS somewhere, and then you got your DVDs, like all separate, right?
Yep.
You ever think of just mixing them all together?
It's kind of weird because I do have the regular Blu-rays and the 4Ks together. But yeah, no, I wouldn't put the VHS. That's like too ancient. But
you don't have that many of them either. They're more display items.
Right? Yeah, I like how all the Blu-rays kind of look together, right? And then the DVDs are that's really the only reason why I keep them separate.
Yeah, I see that because I'm I'm running out of shelf space here, so I'm tempted to put up some new shelves somewhere, and I'm not sure if I would then do DVD and Blu-ray, and I've only got the one VHS thing, or just mix
Yeah.
them all together. And then even then, I keep running into like, what do you do with the movies where the titles, like it's a sequel, but the title
I
doesn't
put them.
follow alphabetically?
Yeah, I just put the sequel right after it. I don't even.
Makes
I'm not even. Yeah,
sense.
like I'm not gonna put Bride of Chucky and the Bees. You know, it goes after
Right.
Child's Play 3.
Yes, yes.
Don't mess around with that stuff.
Do you do the video store thing where you have like subsection, like James Bond movies, all right here?
Well, see, my James Bond movies are all in a set, so I do have that
That's the
together.
benefit of those giant packages.
Right, even though it's
it
a
solves the
crap,
problem for you.
it's terrible packaging.
Mhm.
It's like just like little pictures of James Bond. I'll get it the next time. And then I do have all the Marvel movies together. Those are all in a set together.
Yeah. See that it's
Because
throws off my I want to do everything alphabetical, but that stuff throws it off.
well, I just like how for me it's just aesthetics, right? I just like how all the Marvel movies look together on the shelf because you got these Blu-rays and then you got the green one and then that's the Hulk, and then you keep going through and then there's a red one, that's the first Avengers movie, and then you keep going, there's a black one, that's Ant-Man.
Okay.
So kind of, I don't know, it just kind of looks neat.
I guess there've been different releases of these, I imagine, because I see them where they have the original. It's just a regular Blu-ray, and then it'll be a slip cover, and it says like Phase 1, Phase 2.
There's
all those
tons
kind
of different
things.
releases now. Yeah.
I'm just not going to buy them, so I'll solve that.
Okay, that's enough. We talked enough.
Come back in 2 weeks when I show off more Resident Evil DVDs.
Are you gonna have more? Are you gonna actively
If I
them
find
out?
them? Well, the thing is, I was really after 1, 2, and 3, and with the nice cardboard slipcase because I had seen those and I thought they always looked good. But 4, 5, and 6, like I really haven't seen nice cases. They're just in regular things. But I will get them for my own amusement.
Has there been like any desire to watch them again?
I did. I did watch 1, 2, and 3. I just watched 3 like 2 days ago, and they're garbage. They're terrible movies.
Yeah.
They are entertaining for little bits, and then they just get boring.
Yeah, I think I've watched up to 4 or 5. Anything past that I haven't seen, even though I have them.
A while back, I watched them straight through, all 6, and I thought they're not good, but they're kind of, they're okay. They're fine. 5, I think, kind of spiked up a bit. 5 had a little bit more going for it. And then 6, even though I don't think they're any good, 6 was like way down there. It really sucked. Especially since there's a habit of these movies of building up an ending and then just forgetting about it and just doing something different.
Yeah.
The end of 5, they build it up like there's going to be this big action scene, and they got the Leon Kennedy, and they got all the like some of the game characters, and they got Alice and her characters, and like we're gonna have this big fight. Spoilers: you get to 6 and nothing happens. All the characters are gone.
Just be happy they're still making them. There is a new Resident Evil. Is it a movie?
Yeah,
or
it's like a reboot, and it's supposed to be closer to the game. But I've heard that Mila Jovovich is still in it, like in a small role.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is Paul W.S. Anderson directing it again?
I don't know. I just saw a little advertisement for it on one of the web pages I was on. I was like, oh, they're bringing that back, and
it's kind of a reboot sequel something.
And then there was another. Wasn't Paul W.S. Anderson doing another? Oh, it's a Netflix series, according to Rocket Sauce. So there you go. You might be able to watch it. Isn't he working? Paul W.S. Anderson, isn't he working on another video game?
That's property? All he does. He did like Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil. He did Monster Hunter recently.
Monster Hunter, that was the other one I was thinking of. Okay. All right. That's
the guy makes money. He's like a Michael Bay. Just make what the people are willing to see, and I get a nice big
it.
paycheck.
That's what Michael Bay keeps saying. He's like, he knows the stuff is crap. It just they pay him to make it, so he makes it.
Not to continue this podcast on longer than it needs to go, but I did also recently rewatch those Michael Bay produced Ninja Turtles movies.
Oh yeah, the two, yeah.
They're not terrible. I've actually really loosened up on the second one. The second one's a lot of fun, except for the parts that are stupid.
I've only seen the part where they're on the top of the building in the first one. That's the only part.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's not terrible.
Mm.
The second one is better if you don't mind it just being an extension of the cartoon show, because it's that level of intelligence that goes into it. It's just silly, goofy, cartoony stuff.
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay, there you go. You guys got the extended version of Fandango today. This is what usually happens after I hit stop. We just end up talking for 15 more minutes, and then there you got it. You got it today.
I'm gonna go make breakfast.
All right.
I'm hungry.
Must be Megan Fox.
Oh, the worst part of the movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Terrible.
Wait, she's in the Ninja Turtle ones too?
She's April O'Neil.
What? I
Yeah,
thought her and what's his face, the director, Michael Bay. I thought they didn't get along. They made up.
That's what I remember hearing. Like, because she left the Transformers movies,
right?
I don't know. I guess he figured, well, I'm still gonna make a big paycheck out of this, so I don't care. Plus, he didn't direct them; he was only the producer.
Oh,
so he didn't have to see her every day.
Well, still, you'd think that he would have some say. And well, they must have made up. Oh, that's good. Good to see.
I don't care in any way.
I was just surprised to hear that she was in those movies, because I thought that they had a big fight and she wasn't in Transformers. That's all. That's all.
Will Arnett is in them.
In the Ninja Turtle movies?
Yep, he plays Vernon, the camera guy. April's camera operator.
Goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, he must need a paycheck. Poor guy. Those are good sets too. Good DVD sets. The Arrested Development series. They put them in nice packaging.
Oh yeah, I have those. They're a bit sun faded because I bought them at a thrift shop, yard sale, flea market. Flea market. That's the word.
Now you would just get them. So. You just get them in a big plastic. It would just come in this. All the seasons will come in this plastic. Yeah. All right.
Well, be glad they come like that at all, because another couple of years you're not getting anything. Digital only.
That's true. Yeah.
Get those Blu-rays while you can.
Okay, I swear I'm going to hit end broadcast now. I dare
you. I dare you to do it.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
He said goodbye.